What is good? I'm back with another pickup, and today what I'm going to talk through is this pair here, which is a pair of Air Jordan 1 lows in the Obsidian colorway. This is a pair that I didn't expect to get. They weren't particularly on my radar, but when they dropped and after a couple of weeks, I realized that this is a classic pair that will work for me. So I want to talk through this pair and give you all the information you need to know if you're thinking of picking up this pair, or even if you've just kind of been giving it a cursory glance and are thinking twice. I definitely think this is a pair that are worth picking up, and I'll explain why in this video. On the box, they are known as Air Jordan 1 Retro Low OG. And in terms of colorway, it says these are Obsidian, University and Blue. The box mirrors that as well. You have the two shades of blue on this box. I got my pair from End Clothing, which is a high-end retailer from the UK. And I actually ended up buying 3 pairs, and this is the best pair by far from End. Can't exactly explain why that is, but I'll talk through that in a second. So this is a low. I've got some highs behind me and another pair of Travis Scott lows over there as well. So the Travis Scott is the only other low pair of Jordans that I have. I really like the high OG. I like the way it sits underneath your jeans or your tracky bottoms. I like the fact that you can wear them with shorts. I think the high has always been my go-to. I've never, well actually I've got one pair of mids. I have the Joker 1 mids, but apart from that, all of mine have been high OGs. And the Obsidian colorway is a pair that I liked. They weren't a must for me, but I missed that wave of Jordan 1s. It's kind of in that TikTok COVID era, and the Obsidians and they are a really nice colorway. I love this shade of blue, and I really like this Obsidian color. I like this Carolina. I think it's a great color that is often nodded to in many pairs of Jordans, and I think they two sit really well together. And they're also generally sail, and I'm a massive fan of sail. I prefer sail over white any day. I like that vintage look. I just prefer that aesthetic. So these dropped, and I'm not really a lows fan, but I saw a few reviews and I realized that actually the quality on these is pretty good. One of my favorite pairs is this pair of high OGs, which is the Mocha pair. I was lucky to hit on these in sneakers, and again, I wasn't that bothered, but this is one of my most worn pairs of Jordan 1s. And what I really like about this pair, and people don't talk about it enough, is the fact that it's really sail. Like, it's almost yellow where most people think it's white. And I think that's part of the reason this pair is so popular, because that brown and that kind of cream color go really well. I would say this Obsidian pair aren't quite matching the almost yellowy color of the Mochas, but that's fine. And I think they did a good job to mirror that generally where this could have been white. So I wasn't particularly bothered about this pair. They're £145 retail, which I think is pretty ridiculous for a low. And I would have loved them gone to sale, but I actually realized this is a pair I would wear all summer. And actually the low cut looks really good for the summer. So this is why I thought, you know what, I'm gonna pull the trigger. I was aware that lots of these pairs were recalled and that there were issues with the Obsidian lows in America in terms of a delayed release. So I knew that it was worth checking my pair really carefully. Long story short, I ended up getting 3 different pairs because I thought they sold out and all didn't go through and all this kind of longness, but in the end, I ended up getting 3 pairs. I got this pair from End, I got a pair from Size and a pair from Foot Patrol. And when my Foot Patrol pair came, and that's why I ordered 3 pairs, I could see the toe box was mashed up, glue all over it, just a funny shonky look. So I ordered this pair and I had to get 3 pairs, and this is the only pair that I would say are passable. And even then, I would say that the front of the right toe box, that was the issue on all 3 pairs, was the front of the right toe box. This pair, you can notice it if you look really closely, but generally it was better than the other 2. So I ended up getting 3 pairs, and I can say that the leather quality in all 3 pairs is really good. I think that Jordan brand have stepped up massively from when I started buying Jordan 1s big time, probably about 11, 12 years ago, 2014, 2013, that kind of era. You got that cheapy kind of plasticky, didn't care about materials until people kicked off. And nowadays I would say that generally you get better materials, and maybe that justifies the higher price point. But anyway, 145 for a low I think is a bit ridiculous. I would like to pay less, but I'm happy with them. So leather quality really good, colorway really good, construction in general really good. The Howard pair of lows I had considered buying had a nice stitched back there, and that's the only thing I really would have liked to have seen on this to make this an absolutely knock them out the park pair. was to have had that Wings logo at the back stitched. I have the Travis Scott pair, and I understand that the Travis Scott pair is a collab. I totally get that. And I understand that not all pairs will be stitched, but it just looks so much better in my opinion when that rear panel is stitched rather than embossed or debossed. And so that is the only real flaw. I'm not bothered about the little ticks at the front. It is interesting to me, and I hadn't really realised this, not being a Jordan fan particularly, until I watched a Wear Testers video, that there are actual quite differences in the lows. There are different inline versions, and they're quite different really. The formation on the front is pretty different in terms of the perforations, and also the Travis pair has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 holes, whereas this pair has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 holes. Minor points, but just a point of interest. Believe it or not, I'm one of the people who, even though these are real Travises and I was able to get them off Sneakers app, I'm still not a fan particularly of that swoosh on that side. I just think it looks weird. I prefer the look of this trainer from the inside. So for me, it's quite a big deal to get the swoosh the right way around on both pairs. I'm not going to buy loads of lows, but I really think this pair looks good in so many ways. So yeah, definitely a fan, definitely happy with these. They come with 2 different sets of laces. They come with these in the trainer already, and then they also come with this sail pair. I'm not 100% sure which pair I prefer. I think they both look good. Probably I lean towards the sail version, but I'm not sure till I get them on feet. But yeah, those are the options you get. You get this sail pair as well. So in terms of fit, and everyone's different, I go true to size to my normal Nike size. All the pairs you can see behind me are a UK 11. Everyone says differently. Some people go half down with Air Jordan 1 lows and highs. I don't. They were the first pair that I realised I needed to go half up, and I've stuck to that and they fit fine. At my peak, I've had over 20 pairs of Air Jordan 1s, so I know them really well. I think they're a really classic, really good looking shoe. They're one of those pairs that are almost like Chuck Taylor's Converse. They're just a classic, and I think they look really, they go well with jeans, they go well with tracksuit bottoms, they go well with shorts. They're really versatile. That's why I love the Jordan 1. And I think this pair is no different. It is worth noting, even though they're great and they're classic, they are not comfortable for an all-day wear, and they're not particularly comfortable as you're walking along. And wearing the lows with the Travises, I've realised that actually having that raised heel at the back, that boot, unless you've got them done up quite tight, your foot can kind of slip and drag a little bit. And obviously that depends on how you do your lacing, but they are kind of a lifestyle trainer, so you don't want to have them completely done up, because you're going to be dunking or doing sports with them. So I would generally say that the Air Jordan 1 isn't a particularly comfortable trainer. So for that reason, I think the low can be a really good option, because they're just a little bit more comfortable than the highs. And that is something that's becoming increasingly important as I move squarely into my middle age. So overall, my thoughts and feelings on this trainer are that I think they're really nice. What I would say is, I think £145 is too high for a pair of Air Jordan lows, but you're just not going to get this pair for cheaper, because I don't think they're going to go in the sale. They seem to have kind of restocked in the UK, so it's possible, but for me, I really wanted that pair. I really like the Obsidian colorway, and I think when you see a pair that you really like, you don't have to play the waiting game. You can just buy them, and it's worth it rather than missing out. I think the price is a little bit high, but for this pair, I was happy to pay it. I think in terms of comfort, they're okay. The materials on this particular pair are really good, so I'd recommend them from that standpoint. And I just think going into the summer, it's a classic pair that you can wear and feel comfortable wearing. Many people will feel differently. They do pump out ones. I know the Rookie of the Year set to come out. I know the Mochas came out in the lows. I personally don't need both pairs. If I've got a high, I don't need a low as well, unless it's a pair I guess I really love, like the shattered backboards or something like that. But I was happy to get this pair, and I'm looking forward to wearing them this summer. So if you're on the fence, I would definitely recommend that it's a pair you pick up, get in hand, see what you feel, try them on, and then I feel like it's the kind of pair that you would probably want to keep, because I think it's a really good colorway and Nike have done a good job. So as always, let me know what your thoughts and feelings are on this pair. Is it a pair you picked up? Is it something you're considering? If you've enjoyed the vid and found it useful, please give me a thumbs up. Please comment if you want to. Share the video with your friends, and if you can, try and subscribe. I'm going for 2,000 subscribers by the end of the summer. It's a goal I want to hit. So if you can help with that, that would be fantastic. As always, I appreciate every view. I will see you on the next one. Peace.